Welcome to Viben Gold, a collection of guided meditations put into podcast form for your easy listening. My name is Vivian Gerard, and I will be walking with you through the intoxicating now moments of life here on this planet. These audios are intended to be used as a full meditation if you want to close your eyes, settle down into a comfy spot, and let your subconscious come all the way forward. Or it can simply be some background conversation where the nuggets of information that you most need will make their way into your awareness. Whichever way it works for you, I invite you to open up and enjoy fully this journey of life that we are all taking together. So much love to you. Okay, so welcome to Soulshine. It is August 7th. August 7th. I don't know about you guys, but whoa, this year is going by so quickly, and the summer is almost over here in the States. School starts next week. It just feels like the momentum of life has been picking up so quickly. And so today on a Sunday, as all Sundays for me, we pause and we check in and we slow the pace down and we see where are we, what is happening here in this journey that we're taking, and what needs to be cleared and what needs to be expanded, what needs to be settled further into. So go ahead, bring your attention back to your breath. Yeah, do some big inhales in through the mouth. Exhale in through the nose. And then out long and slow through the mouth. Yeah, let's do that again together. So breathing in through the nose. And long and slow out through the mouth. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and start calling our attention back into our bodies. So all of the places that we are outside of this moment in this phone call, whether that's tasks, people, things that we're ruminating over. Let's bring our attention out of those things and back into our physical bodies. So if you want, you can imagine turning up the magnet in the center of your body. Go ahead and check if you want to where it is right now. So like I notice for me, I'm about a 3 or a 4. Part of me is on the computer and the kids and where is everybody and what's happening. So if you want to turn the magnet up, perhaps up to a 5, if you're at the same number I'm at. And as you do that, as you turn your magnet up, what you're doing is sending a signal out energetically from your own center, from your aura, to all of the places where you've dropped parts of your attention or your awareness. And you're just sending the signal to come back, right? Bring all of your full potential, energy, essence, knowing, whatever word you want to give to that spirit, your soul. You're bringing all of you back home. And so as you turn it up to a 5, you're just magnetizing back some of those pieces. And you can see where your attention has been, if that serves you, right? To notice, I didn't realize part of it was on the groceries, right? We arrived here at this home for a week and we don't have food in the house yet. And for me, food is a big thing. We got to make sure everyone's fed, right? So I just realized part of me is like, we got to go to the grocery store. In this moment, I'm bringing that part of my attention, my awareness, back into my body, into this moment here that's being created. Good. And then just do the same for yourself. And notice as you're doing that, how your body reacts to your energy coming back in. For me, I always feel it in my solar plexus or my second chakras, like lower part of my body. And it feels heavy, like the muscles are a little tight after being worked out. It's like that kind of a heavy, like I am finally aware that I have muscles in those areas. They get dense and more solid. So notice how your body reacts as your awareness, your attention, your energy comes back into you. And it's a great way as you're practicing throughout the day, you know, am I here in my body? Can I feel that I'm fully present? Or am I noticing that my attention isn't here? Let me call myself back in, and then you can feel in your body what that reaction is like. So there's a way for you to notice, yes, I'm here. Nope, I'm nowhere close. And so you can start to play with more and more often during the day, during the week, pulling your attention back into this present body moment. And it's important, in my opinion, it's important to do that because when we dilute ourselves, you know, we send our energy out to all these places, it's like operating from a battery that's only running at 20 or 30%. You know, the appliance just isn't as powerful because it's worn down on the battery. It's the same for us. Our full potential, our knowing, our concentrated effort, it isn't as impactful when we're diluting it out to lots of people or places or things. Go ahead and see if you can turn the magnet up even more. Let's go to maybe a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Yep, and then use your breath. So as you feel your awareness coming back into this moment, you can run all of that energy all the way down through your legs to your feet so that it starts to spread out as it comes into your body. And if you want, you can notice where it's been coming from, where your attention was, or you can just welcome it back in. Right, here I am in this moment, creating a pause and coming fully back to myself. Great, let's go ahead and turn it all the way up. You can go to a 9 or a 10, whatever feels good to you. So you're calling back your awareness, your energy into your physical body. You might feel a big, jolt of it coming in. Often when I do that last 9 to 10, there's it's almost like a wave, a wave of energy, and it usually comes in from behind me. It kind of smacks me from the back and then slides into place. Yeah, just notice how you and your energy are getting to know each other more and more, are finding ways to understand and work together. I would say more smoothly, but for me it's still always kind of a bump, just with more understanding. Good. And then allow your energy to settle into your physical body. So that might mean you want to relax your shoulders or let your back relax so you can lean sort of further back into the chair. You might need to bring your awareness to your legs. Perhaps you've been so busy, mentally I stay really busy in my head. And so when I pause and I bring my energy and my awareness all the way in, usually for me I have to run energy down the form of my body all the way to my legs and then down my legs to my feet, because I can feel that I get disconnected from the lower half of my body. So see if you have a match to that, or if you feel the same waking up that needs to happen in other areas of your body. Perhaps for you it's your arms, perhaps it's your hips or your back. But see if you can run the energy that you have inside of you all the way through the physical body so that you're filling up from the feet all the way to your head. Yeah, what might help is to put magnets at the bottom of your feet that pull it down. So maybe you make your toes, your heels, the soles of your feet really dense and heavy. And then that starts to pull, there you go. That starts to pull energy down from your core of your body to your legs. Good. Good. And then feel your body in this moment. There you are, a really cool human being with all of these parts that work. blood that moves, air that comes in, pumps through the heart. Like, feel for just a moment the miracle of your body and how it knows what it needs, it knows what to do. Right? And when we bring our awareness in, we get to experience that again. I'll give you an example. Often as I'm doing work with clients, many people have their energy outside of their physical bodies, or that's how it looks to me as I look at them for most of the day, most of their lives. And so when I'm looking, and this just started happening recently where I could see it this way, it's almost like there's I would say a force field if I was using cartoon language, right? There's like a shimmery sort of field that is their energy, their essence, their power, their spirit, and it sits somewhere around them. So for some people, it's like it sits maybe 2 or 3 inches in front of their body. For some, it's above, like they're literally floating above their head. And so wherever they are energetically, what we do in the work is very similar to what we're doing here. And we just invite the energy to come down and into their physical body. And so I can see how it's like coming into the physical. And they can usually feel the shift as their energy lands. Right? And so in this moment, if you can play with that, what if you could feel, are you fully here in the body? Or is a little part of you that's still outside? Can you invite it to come all the way in? And what I notice almost every time with a client when they're in that moment with me, there is this joy, this pleasure, delight of, oh my gosh, I feel myself. I feel my body. Right? So allow yourself that moment here to just delight in the miracle of an embodied soul that's fully aware that you're embodied. Yeah. Bodies are pretty cool. They are pretty cool. All right. So use your breath to settle any excited, overly excited, bumpy, still settling places. Use your breath to land all the way in. And then let's go ahead and ground. So from the bottoms of your feet, you can imagine starting to grow roots, and they're going to go down into the earth. And depending where you are, that can feel easy or it can feel really complicated. So, for example, when I was sitting outside this morning, trying to meditate, I could feel like my roots wanted to go down, but as they were trying to go down, I knew there was just sand underneath the chair, right? Like, how do they go down when it's just sand? And in front of me is ocean, so when my roots spread out sideways, they're going to go into water. And, it just took a little sitting with it to find how the rooting would be more solid for me. And the answer always for me is deeper, right? The deeper you go into the core of the earth, the more solid your grounding becomes, the quieter it becomes. So allow yourself to play with that today. How deep do your roots need to go so that you can start to feel the tangible shift in landing, in connecting with the earth? For me, the solar plexus gets heavier again, right? That whole stomach area gets tighter, like the muscles want to contract and grab on. And usually that's when I know, okay, I'm rooting in now. I can feel that my body is connecting to the earth because my solar plexus knows we're connected. There's a heaviness, a density that my body resonates with when I hook into the earth. And when you notice that density, it's a way to feel, yes, right? Like I've connected in, I've hooked in. But it's also an awareness to now relax the body and loosen the muscles so that the connection becomes an easy partnership. It's not a fighting to make the connection happen. It's just a knowing that you've hooked in, and now you can relax your body. Yeah, so see how deep you needed to go and just make that mental awareness, right? Maybe for some of you it was 10 feet or 1,000 feet or a mile or 5 miles. Whatever you needed to feel the connection, go ahead and just notice that that's what your system likes. And so you start to have a base, a barometer of what works for you. Right? And what works for you will be very different than what works for me or other people. Yep, good. And then go ahead and open your feet up and release, if you choose, anything in your physical body that wants to move and be sent to the earth in this moment. So it could be resistance for even doing this, or resistance for even being on the call when you have other things to do, or feeling a fear of something that's coming up in your schedule or in a relationship. Right? In this moment, what if you can just hand that over? You can pick it back up when we're done with the call, but what if you give yourself this little bit of time to clear, right, use your breath, clear that energy down and out through your legs, your feet, the roots into the earth, and hand it over so that the earth can feel whatever it is you are struggling with and recycle it, purify it. Yeah, so start scanning this body that you are aware of in a new way and see where are my stuck places today. If you're visual, you can give those stuck places a color. So you can make them bright red like a flashing light, or black spots that you want to clear out. If it's more of a feeling, notice in any part of your body in this moment where your awareness wants to go, where it feels tight, where it feels like that muscle is pulling my attention to that area of my body. And then notice what that part of the body is. And when we're done with the call, you can look it up, on the Louise Hay book and see what is that part of my body trying to tell me. If you don't care, just run the energy out. Right? Just allow it to be a stuck place that chooses to let go of the tightness. And then feel your feet, the roots underneath, pulling from that stuck place. Whatever's ready to move here in this moment, down and out. Yeah, good. Do one more scan of the body. Anywhere else in this moment that feels like it needs support in clearing a stuck place or a block. Good. Good, and then you can set the intention, the whole way through this call as things come up, as I feel or sense something getting heavy or sticky. I'll set the intention that that energy can just move down and out through my feet into the earth. And then as you release, you can also reverse the direction. So feel as the earth takes that heaviness or black dot or red flashing light, whatever it was that you used as you were tuning into your body. As the earth takes that, imagine she can just blow air through it or cover it with love or dissolve it with salt. So imagine whatever it was you handed over just starts to be diluted, dissolved, transmuted in the grounding strength of the earth. And then your feet can reverse the direction and now start to pull from the earth some of that support, that strength, that clarity up to your feet. And then your feet can choose, right? We're accepting this, we're allowing this energy to come up into our legs, or we're just going to know it's there. And if we want to feel that later or allow that in later, we know we can do it. If you choose in this moment, you can imagine that that now comes into your feet, your legs, with a different quality than how it went out. So if it went out in black pellets, imagine now it comes in as white light or white stardust, stardust from the earth. Oh, that's pretty cool. Or you can give it a feeling of warmth, right? It can be like laughter, tickling at the bottoms of your feet. And then you just allow that support to run all the way up through your legs, through your knees, through your thighs, into your hips. Yeah, wow, it's harder to receive than it is to hand it over, isn't it? For some of us, including me. And then just feel in your root chakra, how willing are you in this moment to receive support, to receive light and love or laughter into your chakra system, into your energy. And then you can just wash or wave that through your chakras, and you can allow it to fill up all the empty spaces or massage through any stuck places that you're still working through or holding on to. And imagine that light or love can just start to move all the way up and through each chakra, and you can just name them as it goes. So first chakra filled up. Second chakra, running that earth energy through. Third chakra, filling that whole beautiful stomach area up with light and love. All the way into the heart chakra where it's easy and flowing, right? Love merging with light, moving through the chakra, going all the way up into the throat. You might yawn or burp or cough. It's just energy moving, so allow that white or light from the earth to come all the way through your throat chakra, and then sweep all the way up through your face into the third eye. And then clearing and rinsing any resistance or blocks all the way through the third eye, up into the crown chakra. And then stardust from the earth, moving through the crown chakra, going up all the way into the heavens, meeting stardust from source, from the universe. And then feel, from this place, feel your connection to source. So for me, what I notice is and it's so fun to call it stardust as it comes from the earth, but of course, right, the earth is originally from a star too, so there is stardust in the earth. So as I picture the stardust coming out, it's like, for me, as it comes out my crown chakra, it feels like it goes more into slow motion. It's not as fast as it was moving through my physical body, and it looks like little white, literally, little white stardust, little pieces of stars, as it comes out the crown chakra, and then it's almost like a slow motion science fiction movie, like the stardust just starts moving through the atmosphere, through the sky, all the way into the universe. And then it just looks like from the top of my head opens into what the universe looks like, what the night sky looks like, with just stars everywhere. So feel your visual. Right? That's just what mine feels like to me. Feel for you, like if you are to visualize how you connect when you've cleared all the chakras and energy from the earth is coming out through your crown chakra and hooking you into source, into the universe, which is one collective energy. What feels good to you? If it's more feeling than a visual, allow the feeling to sink into your entire body, your entire aura. Yeah, notice how still and quiet everything gets when it's just you connecting to your source, to your God, your creator, whatever name you give to that energy that creates us. Even that doesn't feel true. The energy from which we came, right? And in this moment, what is there for you to know about your connection to Source, Source's connection to you? And just take a couple minutes and just feel, right? It might be a sensing and knowing, it might be words or visual, it might just be peace. Let's take a minute or two and just feel that connection. Beautiful. All right, so bring your awareness all the way into your physical body. For some of us, it's like, let's go out there. Let's just stay. Let's hang out with Source all day. Do we have to do anything else? Yeah, it can just last all day long, all week long, all month, all year long. Right? You can just allow that connection to just be flowing constantly, open. It's funny, one of my favorite things I've been learning as I study meditation is when Buddhists have shared, meditation is everything. It's every single thing you do. And that felt like the sky's opening, right? I don't have to just sit in a chair and close my eyes and be really still. Like, I can meditate in any time, in any moment, doing whatever I'm wanting. It feels like this, right? You can just have this constant connection, open to Source, the universe, creation, and energy just flows. It flows back and forth. And so in every moment, you can trust that you're guided and seen and held and loved and honored for the work that you're doing here on this planet. But in this moment, you can consider coming all the way into your body for just a little bit and still allow that connection to stay open. Okay, so the theme for August, according to Mystic Mama, is collaboration, and I shared that in the Soulshine email and the Soulshine Tribe, and I've just been sitting with that word all week, all weekend, and feeling like, what do I know about collaboration? What do I understand? To me, it's like collaboration. The contrast is I'll just do it by myself. I'll take care of it. I'm self-sufficient. I don't need anybody else. Watch me. I'll just take care of life. Versus collaboration of working and community and partnership and people supporting and loving each other. And I would say I have much more been of the camp of I'll just take care of it myself. I'll be able to do it better anyway because I know what I want and I can't quite get the words to verbalize it for other people, and then you would disappoint me, and why would I, have you be disappointing me, and I'll save you that embarrassment of that, so I'll just do it myself, right? So it's an easy way to justify independence, but the independence, it's lonely too, right? When you're the one who has been responsible for doing everything all by yourself, it's great if other people can recognize it or see what you're doing. But when you're sitting there at the end of the day and you've done it all alone, it can feel lonely. So a perfect story to give you an example of this as we explore this topic. And let me say right at the beginning, I am still exploring this topic. I do not sit here with the answers or a clear pathway forward of how everyone should collaborate, because Mystic Mama says August is the month to collaborate. It is for sure the work that I am doing for myself. And so all I do is bring what I know here and then invite you to bring what you know and share and collaborate and see how we can shift and expand together. So a perfect example is this road trip that we've taken. My 2 children and my husband and I decided we wanted to go to the beach this summer. And then my daughter invited her 2 friends, which is perfect because neither of them have really been to the beach or hung out in the ocean. And then my son brought his favorite cousin, his favorite person in the world. So everyone's really happy, right? I have Brad and they have their friends and we're all together. And so we've been talking about this road trip for a while, and, you know, we put all these plans together. We got the car ready, the van ready, and we left early yesterday morning. And it was great at first, right? Like, I was just in the journey, in the adventure of each moment. I was looking at the sun rising as we were driving. I was playing my music. Everyone in the car was asleep, and they were all happy. And then more time went by, and all of a sudden, we're all getting kind of cranky, and when are we going to be there, and how much longer, right? And so this wonderful collaborative started to fall apart a little bit, much more on the adult side than on the teenage side, as Brad and I wanted to get here so fast. When is it done? How many more hours? How many more miles, right? Drive, faster, faster. And it was beautiful to see how the girls in the back seat, right, my daughter and her 2 friends in the way back of the van, they were just enjoying the journey, really, so much more than anyone else. They were taking selfies of themselves pretending to be asleep. They were then really asleep and leaning all over each other and looking so cute and playing games. They brought their coloring books, you know, so they could do the mandalas, I think they're called. They were listening to music. I mean, they were just so present in their journey. As the front of the car, Brad and I started to fall apart, right? Like, we've been driving, we just want to get there, and then there's all this traffic, and why are people so slow, and rah, right? And so there's this space of the van with all of these energies inside of it. And the way I am, I start to absorb it for everyone. So I'm like draining faster and faster and faster, right? Like, as I dilute, my battery is dropping. And we finally arrive, 12 hours we're driving, which is really not so terrible. We arrive at the beach house and we go in, and the excitement level just goes through the roof, right? Like, everyone's so happy. So we have to put our suits on and we run to the beach. And there was just this beautiful moment. We all arrive at the beach, we run to the edge of the ocean, and you can't go any further. You couldn't run any further. Like, you can run into the shallow waves, you can splash around, you can jump, you can play, but you can't go any further. You're at the edge of the space that we've all agreed to inhabit, right? Like, we're in this United States of America. We are at the edge of the East Coast. You can't go any further unless you go into the water. And you can only go so far and you're going to run out of energy. And it was just such a beautiful visual to me. We race through life. We have this pace of anticipation of we're trying to get somewhere. I think we talked about this last week on the call. You're trying to get somewhere. You're trying to get something done, right? Like, forward momentum. Go, 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 go. And vacation, beach, you stop. You just have to stop. You can't run any further. And there was such a match to that in my grounding this morning when I was doing my rooting into the earth. You know, I could feel how I can root down, I can root sideways, I can root behind me, I can send these grounding connections out. But when I send it forward, it's roots going into water. It doesn't feel steady or known, right? It feels wobbly, watery, unclear. And so I pictured myself literally sitting in front of the ocean with all of this rooting sideways, the collaboration, rooting sideways into all of these relationships in and around me, rooting behind me into all of these past collaborations, all of these past ways of being supported in my growth. And I sit here at the edge of the ocean not knowing anything of what is to come, not knowing what future collaborations are out there, what future connections I'm going to have or need, what's going to serve my path, what my future path even looks like. But the solidness to the sides and behind me lets me have that freedom forward. And I know, right, for me, the ocean is abundance. The ocean, some people view the forests as abundance, or the woods, right? Like, walking through a path in the forest is their idea of bliss, of grounded, of connected, of abundance, of everything. For some, it's the mountains. For me, always it's water, it's ocean, it's waves. It's this knowing that there will constantly, always be another wave. There will always be more coming towards me. And sometimes it'll wash me under, right? I was telling the girls, one of them went to the ocean once when she was 8, barely remembers it. The other one never has been to the ocean, and these are Callie's best friends. And they're sitting here in the water, and it was just magic to explain to them, right? Like, sometimes it's going to tug you under, and when you go under, it's going to feel like you're in a washing machine and you won't know which way's up and which way's down. But always just come up and you will feel like you can breathe again as soon as you come out of the wave. There's such wisdom about life in just this image of arriving here and stopping and looking at the abundance of what is in front of me, right? This ocean, it has water that connects to everywhere else around the planet, right? It has salt, which is healing. It's filled with life. It's magic. It is abundance. And so as I sat with this idea of collaboration today, there's a way to explore it from knowing if I look at this collaboration, it's going to be perfect and amazing and my life is going to go on this path and everything's going to work out for me. Or you sit in the unknown magic of it. And so as I was sitting this morning, relationships started to come up as I was thinking about collaboration. Collaboration where I feel like I've failed, and collaboration where I feel like, man, I'm doing it so well. I'm spot on in that relationship. And yet, even that isn't quite true, right? I don't know that we fail. That word fail, I don't know that we fail in any of our collaborations. I believe we're learning in all of them, and some of those lessons sting, right? Some lessons are powerful teachers. Some of them leave marks that feel like wounding. It feels like you're ripping the Band-Aid off and you're pouring salt into the wound of that past collaboration. And yet, it's a lesson. It's a shared experience that is enriching who you are as a soul here in this journey. And every one of those collaborations brings you something that is going to make you more valuable in the future collaborations. So what I wanted to do is read to you some of the words that Mystic Mama shared, and then let us go into like a little bit of quiet space to just feel our collaborations on either side of us and those behind us, and then perhaps release some of the judgments that we have. So this is what Mystic Mama says. This is a big month for relationships. Collaboration is all about building stronger and more trusting relationships with the different parts of yourself, as well as with others. There is no room for competition, standing out as the king of the mountain, or needing to be singled out as the one at the top. Collaboration is about building a team where everyone does their part. You will be the master of whatever role you play in the collaboration. If we can get past this lesson of learning to work together in harmony and cooperation, the future will unfold for us as a collective in a very beautiful way. However, if we continue to act independently out of the old pattern of separation, competition, comparison, and judgment, we will only extend and prolong the period of suffering, loneliness, and despair. We cannot do it alone. And in order for there to be true collaboration, we have to get over ourselves, our self-centered, self-doubt, self-deprecation, and low self-esteem. I read that again. In order for there to be true collaboration, we have to get over ourselves, our self-centered, self-doubt, self-deprecation, and low self-esteem. The low self-esteem, right? Like how we beat ourselves up. It is time to acknowledge and honor the magnificence that we all are as human beings, and stop wallowing in our own delicious self-pity. We all have a role to play in the greater collaboration of evolving the planet to the best future possible. We are all powerful individually, but in collaborative relationship, we can be superheroes. Here's what she suggests, and this is what I invite us to do in the next few minutes together. Start with the relationships around you. How can you be in better collaboration with your family, your significant other, your children, your closest loved ones? Then move to your current work, staff, co-workers, clients, community members, friends, partners in business or pleasure, and improve your collaboration wherever possible. Right? I know. So here's my suggestion. Let's take some time. We have probably about 15 more minutes. Let's take some time and in this space of your own quiet knowing, feel like what I'll do is say the name or the group of people that we can look at, and then we'll take a few minutes and look at that, and then we'll move to the next one. So my suggestion is look at what it is that is not feeling collaborative in that relationship, because often we can find how to fix something or how to shift something by looking at how it's broken. So, and these are all terms, right? Your relationships, I'm not saying they're broken, but in the idea of looking at where we are not collaborating well, we'll be able to see potentially an opening where we can collaborate. So, for example, the first one we'll look at is how can you be in better collaboration with your family? So let's look at extended family for that first, perhaps, right? So your parents, your children, if you have children, your siblings. So as we look at how we are not collaborating well with our family, find that space first. And usually the answers come very quickly when we look at how it's not working, right? Like, oh, they do this and they do that and they do these things. The invitation is to turn and look at you as you list those things you don't like about them. So if it is, they never show up for me, feel that, and then look at perhaps are there ways you aren't showing up for them? Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. Right? If you feel like you have done all that you can to show up for them, then it might be something on their side. But usually there's a match, right? There's something we're doing in ourselves that we don't like about ourselves, and so we project it out onto the people around us. So if you can find where you aren't in alignment, that you can fix. Right? That's easy to fix. Then it's like, oh, well, it could be easy if we let it be easy. Right? If you know where you have a stuck place in yourself, it's just like scanning your body, then you can clear it. Then you can move that stuck place out, or you can take that topic into a conversation with a friend, or you can journal about it, or you can meditate about it. But when you know what it is, what's driving you crazy, you have a place to start. And what I have found is it's always about me and my stuck places. That I can shift, that I can move. So look at where it's not collaborating, see where you have the match, and then feel what you can clear in yourself in this moment. Is there a way you can just move that out your feet and run it into the earth? Can you just put salt water and spin salt water around it and dissolve it? Can you just pour love over it? Can you add breath? Breathe into it? Right? Is there any part of you in that relationship that is ready to shift into more clarity? Do your work, and then see, now that I've done that, is there something I can bring that is more collaborative now into that relationship? Is there an action step, or is there more that needs to be done so that collaboration can up-level from where it is right now? If your relationships with your family are already perfectly collaborative, I bow to you. Because usually those are our deepest places of work, right? So If you are, awesome. Just run energy until we move to the next one. Okay, so we'll take a few minutes for each, maybe 2 minutes for each one, and we'll just kind of move through it. So you can go as slow or as fast as you want to. You can come back to any of these after the call. It's just an invitation to start seeing how do we clear ourselves in these collaborative ways. All right, so the first one is family. Go ahead and just take a minute. Okay, I feel like you've already started that one while I was talking. So let's move to the next one. So we're going to look at your significant other. Whether you are currently in a relationship or not, you can look at the past one that just ended. You can look at the potential one of who you're calling in. Okay? Look at your relationship with your significant other and see where are there ways it's not collaborative. Instead of projecting onto them, how do I find the match in myself? And what is ready to move or shift in this moment in me so that we can step into better collaboration? Go ahead and take 2 minutes and we'll look at this one together. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with children. So you may have children, you may have nieces and nephews, you may have grandchildren, you may have little people around you that you spend time with, all right? Children in general, how are you as an adult not in good collaboration with children, this next generation that are going to be our leaders one day? So feel where you're not in collaboration. Look at your own match, clear that, and then see if there's a way to step into higher vibration with them. go ahead and look at friendships. This may be easier to do with just one person versus a whole group, but you can do it whichever way you prefer. So look at where you are not collaborating well, where something feels bumpy or triggery in a friendship, and then see what it is about them that you think is broken, that isn't working, that doesn't match how you want to live. Find where you have a match to that thing, and then see if you can put some love on it, the match in you. Clear the part you can control, which is you. Okay, let's go ahead and bring our attention to work. Work, school. If you're staying home with your children, consider that to be like your work relationships, right? So perhaps it's the people who support you with your children. So feel how your collaboration with those work relationships is not going well. Look at where you have the match in you, and then see if anything in you is ready to shift. This is a great spot for judgment, right? So go ahead and feel your match and see if it's ready to move. Okay, and then the last one we'll look at for today. How are you in collaboration with your community, the world at large? Where are the places where you are not perhaps fully collaborating and there's room for more? Or you're collaborating at a low vibrational level and perhaps you can up-level to a higher vibrational level. So again, it comes back to you, right? In this moment, how are you collaborating? If the theme of August is collaboration to evolve the planet at a higher level, how are you feeling about your role in it? And what are the opportunities for something more? I'll take 2 minutes for this one. Okay, let's go ahead and bring your attention back in. I just have to share because this was funny. I was asking the questions right along with you. So I was asking, okay, how do I improve my collaboration with the world and with the communities that I'm in? And I was looking at the clock to make sure we didn't go over, and I could hear myself saying, right, stop watching the clock. Stop looking at time going by. Like, be in the moment. Trust yourself. Trust yourself more than anything else. I use muscle testing, and I usually muscle test to see when something feels complete for us to move to the next thing. And it was like, trust your muscle testing. Quit looking at the clock. So yes, we all are learning about collaboration together, and it is such a beautiful journey. Okay, anything that's come up through all of this work, go ahead, just run it all the way down to your feet. Use your breath, send it down and out into the earth, hand it over. Hand it over. And then feel the earth reverse the direction, recycle, bring a wave of energy all the way up through your feet. Run it all the way up through your body. You can go so fast, right? Coming all the way out the top of your crown. And then it can either whale spout over you, down back into the earth, or it can just keep going out and show and feel and reveal more of your connection to Source to you. So good to be with you today. I would just add my last words of wisdom as I learn it from myself is, we are enjoying the journey. It is not about where we are getting to. It is about all of the experiences along the way. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. So much love.